Hi, I'm Derek.
And I'm Andrea with the Capstone team. So what are we going to talk about today, Derek?
So today we're going to elaborate on unforeseen expenses that derail short sales.
Okay.
And in a lot more detail, we touched on it in a previous video, but we really wanted to educate people on what they need to do or know up front to make sure that they have a successful short sale. Now we're speaking specifically to sellers now.
Right. So the most important thing above all else is to tell us when there's an issue like that, or to tell your realtor. Because if you know that you haven't paid your taxes or you haven't paid your HOA dues, you have to discuss that with the realtor. Of course, they should be asking you those questions.
Absolutely.
But just in case they missed something or didn't ask you, you need to make sure to tell them. And so some of the big ones that we're seeing right now is that you haven't paid your taxes. And obviously the easy way to verify what has been paid or hasn't been paid is to go to the county and pull up the county tax records.
Absolutely.
Public information that you can do, tells you what your taxes are online. Another big item that we're seeing in some of our cities are violations.
Absolutely.
Some of those violations are, interestingly enough, for instance, in the city of Oakland, if you live in Oakland and had your house there, but then you moved out because you're trying to do a short sale and you are renting somewhere else, even if you're not living physically in the property, you actually have to have trash service. And they'll charge you for that trash service even though you've never had the cans at the curb or anything like that. Or another big one too is people are dumping their
waste, their garbage.
Their garbage on the property in the front of the house, in the back of the house, and if the city sees it or your neighbors call saying that there's trash on the property,
and they will,
the city will come out and have a violation. And so we're finding that a lot of clients, especially not even living in the properties, trying to do short sales, are having different things come up as violations that they never knew about. And so you always just want to kind of keep an eye on the property and go by and make sure that nothing happens. Another big one too is HOA fees. Is that sometimes you can negotiate with the HOA companies for a lesser amount, but they're still going to want some money, if not all of it. And so that's something else that you kind of need to look in. So the ways to really verify if there's any, besides your taxes, of course, any other violations or liens or whatever, is to either pull a preliminary title report, and the agent can do that. You have to open up a pre-escrow to pull that up, or even to go down to the county recorder's office, and oftentimes they'll have any violations or anything else like that. Another item that's a big one too in some cities is you'll be red tagged for something or have a violation on something because of a permit issue, that maybe something was pulled and never completed, or the city does a drive-by notices that something's in disrepair. Sometimes the cities won't even let you close on something unless you take care of those issues. So those could be some expenses that you're anticipating on. And even though a lot of stuff is selling as is, the city says, sorry, even though if it's sold as is, you either need to take care of it before you sell it, or in some cases, they'll allow you to sell it, but then require the buyer quickly afterwards to do it. And in some cases, they won't. They'll say you have to fix it before you sell it.
So I think that's key. So the last one really is any kind of code violations.
And everything will come up if you're concerned about that or have an issue about that. You can always go down to the county recorder's office and they'll have everything on file. And if there's nothing on file, then obviously you're good.
Yeah, absolutely. So the key, and Andrea got into a lot of detail here, but the key again is to talk about what other expenses are attached to the property, or to find out before or right at the beginning of starting a short sale to ensure that these can be dealt with, because you, the seller, are going to have to deal with these issues, or you run the risk of your short sale transaction falling apart and not working for you, and ultimately ending up with that all encompassing not good foreclosure on your record.
Right. So hopefully this helps to answer some questions for you and gives you something to think about ahead of time of some expenses that a lot of people aren't talking about. And if you have any questions at all in regards to those, feel free to contact us at
thecapstoneteam.com, or
you can call us at 1-888-646 2444, and our extension is 55555. So that's 5 5s.
That's right.
So anyway, feel free to contact us either way, and we'll look forward to talking to you and answering any of your questions. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.
Take care.